son. Where'd you find this?
Just do it! Make your dreams come true!
A few moments later.
You are now listening to Podcast 42, the world's most popular, inaccurate, and sometimes squirreled retelling of pop culture history.
At least I'm consistent with my thoughts.
You're consistent with your thoughts.
Yeah. Because, like, you'll say one thing, and I'll think to myself, oh, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, 2 seconds later in the show, I say, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, all right. So I had the same reaction. I
You
have the same
think to
thought.
yourself, blah, blah, blah?
Yeah. I know.
10% off our next 10 Lyft rides.
Wow.
Oh, that's amazing.
We've been using Lyft a lot.
Anywhere.
We do.
That is amazing. And on that note, it's time for Podcast 42.
Brought to you today by Lyft.
I wish. Do you know how much money they might pay out?
Probably a lot, actually.
Save me a drive. That'd be nice.
Madonna, why don't you introduce yourself first this week?
I'm Faraz. Hey.
Thanks, Bono. I'm JL Tros.
I'm Nicole Fasone.
And I'm Christopher DeVos. And let's open up the beer cooler.
Yay.
JL beer cooler. It's cooler than you think. JL beer cooler. It's cool enough to drink. It's cool enough to drink. Yeah.
My coaster's uneven.
What?
The coaster. It's a turtle shell, but it's uneven.
What kind of turtle shell?
It's a red turtle.
So that means it's hunting you down.
It's not.
It's the Super Mario.
All right, JL. What did you bring? This is an interesting one.
Oh, I brought an interesting one from New Belgium Brewery. It's the Hemperor.
I like it.
Made with 100% pot.
Yes.
And hops.
Oh, okay.
Together at last.
Oh.
Now, the package says it will not get you high.
Oh. Where does it say that?
When I got high,
Yeah,
Where
that's
does
right.
it say that?
I drank JL's beer cooler.
100% employee owned.
Then I got high. I got high.
Look at this packaging.
The label's a 1.
Oh, really? I like it.
Do you like the label?
I
Wait,
do.
What is this out of?
6.
What is the rating system out of for us?
No, I wasn't sure if the label had a different rating system or not. No, it's the same.
Same rating system.
Would
which
you
is,
line up 6 bottles to look at all of
Well,
them?
I don't understand. Hold on. So, if the rating system is 1, if it's out of 6, what are you exactly you saying?
I'm just being consistent.
Like, you can look at 1 out of 6 of these and not 6 out of 6 of these?
Yes.
Because if the actual drinking rating system is about drinkability, right?
Right. Which is what?
6 out of 6 would be the full score out of a 6-pack.
Right.
How many of these can you drink out of a 6-pack?
Yes.
So if you're saying that the label is 1 out of 6, that means that after looking at one label, you just get sick of it?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, how can you... No. Yeah.
How can wait, no, are you
it's
saying
just
no with a K? Or...
consistent. It's just consistent with the... There's no...
What?
You're
Anyway.
killing me. That's what's going on.
It says on the packaging contains no traceable amounts of THC or CBD, which that is sad and disappointing. But I'm sure the beer
Is that
will
why
still
the
be
label
good.
bothers
There
you?
is no amount of labels that I could not look at in one day. I could look at 1,000 labels in one day if I wanted to. But I'm not doing 1 out of 1,000.
You're doing 1 out of 6.
Yeah, just stay consistent
Yes,
with the
because
beer.
all 6 labels are different, like we said.
Whoa.
Wait, all 6 of these are different?
Yeah.
So, like, my label is different than Chris's label?
Yes, they are all wearing different crowns.
Chris is
They
making a
have
weird
different
face
beards.
after this
Can I
first
see,
sip.
can I see
I
your
don't
label?
know what to think of this.
Ooh, it smells like it.
This is
Oh my gosh, I love
really
it.
different.
I don't
Hi,
like
Nicole's mom.
I don't like
She
the smell
knows.
of weed.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I
haven't said hi to your
hate-
mom in a while.
I taste it
It's
too.
been about a week.
Oh, this makes me so sad, so longing.
Is that what it tastes like?
This is what longing tastes like, apparently, Chris.
Wow, that is really, really, really different.
Yeah, because there's the flavor of weed in it. You could taste it. Well, I can.
This is what it tastes like?
Yeah. It's in essence.
Oh,
yes.
yes, it is, because I've smelt it
Yeah.
many
And done
It
times.
smells very strongly of weed.
Yeah, and it tastes like it
I love
smells.
this. Wait a second. This is why you got this for Colorado.
If your house gets raided right now,
Yes.
it all smells.
I said last week, Given our topic,
Yeah.
I'm getting a Colorado beer.
Yeah.
And when I went to the store, I saw the label. I saw what it said. I knew the brewery was from Colorado. It seemed fitting.
You know what? I forgot New Belgium was from
Oh,
Colorado.
yeah, you did
so
say that. And
I
we were
know,
supposed to
I
all
remember.
look, but none of us did.
I remembered that part. You were the last one in ABC, by the way.
I was
with
looking at
my
the
credit
beers,
card.
but I got Highlight instead.
I forgot New Belgium was from Colorado, so it's just doubly perfect. Good job, JL.
All right. Well, this week's episode is this topic rather is on what?
South Park.
South Park. Yay!
Yeah, I know. We taste it.
What's going on over there?
No, it's because I got high.
It's a hemp beer. It has some flavor
Yeah.
relevant to hemp.
That is a lingering flavor.
It is. It's still there.
Oh,
This is going to damage his ranking.
But you know what? It's pop quiz time.
dank. It's going to dank it.
And all right, no more beer for you. You're getting too sidetracked. This pop quiz is called "When You're Putting the Cartman Before the Horse," or
No, Kitty, it's my pop quiz.
or Butters is to South Park as Pete Best is to the Beatles.
I don't know who Pete Best is.
What are the
The
Beatles?
Original drummer.
I didn't think you
Got
would.
it.
5 general knowledge facts on South Park in order of the easiest to the hardest. To test your knowledge, score 1 point for each correct answer. All right, pencils ready?
Pens. Yes.
Writing implements ready?
Why don't you just get number 2
iPad ready.
pencils?
Because we don't need number 2 pencils. Number 1, what religion is Kyle? Number 1. Starting off with the easiest. What religion is Kyle?
Thank goodness, because in the past, some of the number 1 questions have been harder than more difficult than other
All
ones.
been easy. Number 2, who has an adopted Canadian brother? Who on the show has an adopted Canadian brother? Number 2. Everyone's writing down really fast this week. Number 3, when Kyle needs a new kidney, who's the only person to have a match? Nicole's got to think.
I don't know if I saw that one, but I'm gonna.
I don't think I saw that one, but I'm just guessing.
It's a pretty easy guess if you really think about it.
Yeah.
Number 4, who is Eric Cartman's father? Who is Eric Cartman's father? Now, these are getting harder. You have made no looks at me, Faraz. You've made no noises at me. Does this mean you're doing really well in this one?
I don't understand what you're suggesting right now.
If there is
Like, do I
one
normally
Star
make
Wars
noises
answer-
at you?
Yes.
Noises with looks at you?
Yes.
Like seductively?
Yeah, usually
Somewhat.
there's an
Somewhat.
and an oh crap or something.
And number 5, what are Timmy's parents' names?
Oh,
Timmy!
Wow.
What are Timmy's parents' names? Timmy!
Dang it.
Cole's shaking her head.
No idea.
All right, pencils down.
And the Lords of the
No,
Underworld.
I was so close. I just, oh, well, whatever.
Well, you can finish.
Really?
Yeah. Well, we're going to do number 1 while you're finishing. What religion is Kyle, Nicole?
Jewish.
JL?
Oh, he hangs out with Gary. He's Jewish.
Faraz?
Jewish.
Jewish is correct. Everyone scores a point. Who has an adopted Canadian brother? Faraz.
Kyle.
JL.
Cal.
Nicole?
Stan.
It's Kyle.
Is it? Aw, shoot.
You're close.
Yeah.
It stands in the show. So, when Kyle needs a new kidney, who's the only person to have a match? JL?
Cartman.
Nicole?
Cartman.
Faraz?
Eric Cartman.
Eric Cartman is correct.
See, and I guess that because of like, well, that's something that would be appropriate because Cartman's going to hold that over his head as long as he possibly
Yeah.
can.
Yep. Who is Eric Cartman's father? JL.
His mother.
What? His mother's is also his father?
Yeah, she's a hermaphrodite.
Okay. Nicole?
Interesting. I said Steve something.
Steve something.
I don't remember the last name, but I feel like Steve is the first name.
There could be a Steve. Faraz?
Everyone.
You're probably the closest.
Because of the episode
Yeah.
where they followed everyone that she was sleeping with.
It's the 1989 Denver Broncos.
All of them are his father?
Yes, all of them is Eric Cartman's father.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the hardest of the hard, what are Timmy's parents' names? For us,
Mr. and Mrs. Butthead?
that's how did you know that? You did your homework this week. I'm so proud of you.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
I'm
or
being
not.
very sarcastic. JL?
Nicole and Faraz.
Nicole, do you have the same answer as JL?
No idea. That was my
It's
answer.
Richard and Helen.
Okay, yeah. I got 2.
All right.
Lost.
Nicole, start us off. This is your topic.
All right. Oh my God! Frosty killed Kenny. was the first time the iconic "Someone Killed Kenny" line was ever mentioned, and it started a trend that would continue for over 20 years. The line in question, of course, comes from the numerous award-winning South Park series by the creative minds of Matt Stone and Trey Parker. Chris is really not liking this beer.
It is like...
I will have it if you don't want it.
It is like every high school party I went to.
Well, I saw you drinking LaCroix before, so if you like one of my Trulies, it's almost the same thing, but with alcohol, and I will drink your weed beer.
I wasn't drinking liqueur.
LaCroix.
Oh, LaCroix, okay.
Yeah, he does not drink liqueur.
I don't drink.
No,
I don't just drink
he drinks
liqueur.
He
I'm not
drinks LaCroix.
fancy. I have
I
my
drink the fancy sparkling water.
I have my LaCroix in my Lucky Mug.
Got it. Okay.
The new Lucky Mug.
That initial line, that came from Stone and Parker's 1995 short film, The Spirit of Christmas. The film was made in the same animation style the two would later become famous for, involving construction paper, glue, and an 8mm camera. Stone and Parker presented the film in 1992 in front of their fellow University of Colorado students during a student screening event. The film consisted of two parts, Jesus versus Frosty and Jesus versus Santa, both of which featured boys reminiscent of South Park's four protagonists. The film also included the untimely death of one specific boy in a hood. The second part...
in a gang? In the poor section of town?
Well, I mean...
like a winter jacket hood.
Oh, okay.
But,
I got confused.
But Kenny is poor.
Yeah.
And I
He's
guess
from
the four of them...
town.
I guess... I guess the four of them are in a gang together.
So many layers.
They were
to
in a
that
ninja
sentence.
game at one point.
I got confused.
The film also included the untimely death of one specific boy in a hood, the second part of The Spirit of Christmas, which was made in 1995 per the request of Stone and Parker's mutual friend and Fox Network executive Brian Grattan. Actually went on to become one of the very first viral internet videos.
We're living most our lives in a gangster's paradise.
We are. The unexpected popularity of the short film inspired the duo to create a television series, which they pitched to Fox. However, the network declined, deciding that it wasn't interested in a show that featured a talking turd as a recurring character. JL chose that moment to drink his beer. Doug Herzog of Comedy Central decided to sign the show after seeing the short film, and Stone and Parker, along with their small team, began a 3-month process of creating their pilot episode.
That premiere episode, Faraz gets an anal probe.
Oh, no,
Almost never made its momentous 1997 debut, however.
It's Cartman gets an anal probe.
Oh.
For those who don't actually know.
Oh, my script says Faraz.
Oh, of course it does.
I got the weird edited one. I don't understand.
You must have got the one before the revisions.
Oh, yeah, probably.
That's what he was talking about.
Okay.
Should have edited this one. Test audiences were less than affectionate towards the dark humor. Women in particular seemed to dislike it. But Jesus vs. Santa was still an internet phenomena, so Comedy Central went ahead and gave them the green light for South Park.
It was a different time then. They wouldn't get the green light today, I guarantee.
No. Though the pilot episode took 3 months to produce, a huge part of South Park's success actually comes from its surprisingly short production period. While other animated shows like The Simpsons typically use hand-drawn animation produced in South Korean studios over a period of 9 months. Really? That's a long time.
Yeah.
Stone and Parker decided to use Maya computer software, which allowed for substantially shorter production times. Each episode of the first few seasons, minus the pilot, had a production time of only about 3 weeks.
I used to use Maya for my first marketing job back in college.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was very complicated though.
Really?
Was it hard to turn on?
Chris,
I was not good at it.
Good job. Oh, boy.
Nowadays, however, with a staff of about 70 people, South Park episodes are produced in a single jaw-dropping week.
Which is insane.
It is
insane.
It is. It's amazing how they change certain things right away.
There's a documentary floating out there that I highly recommend watching it. Even if you're not a South Park fan, it will blow your mind how they put the show together in a way.
What-
Are you
what's it
referring
called?
to the documentary we're about to talk about?
Oh, is it in here?
Oh, whoops.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Good. I'm so glad I wasn't the only one who didn't read this beforehand. Some episodes
I helped
only
to write it. That's the problem. And I forgot.
Some episodes only take a matter of days to complete. Other episodes simply defy all expectations with their production speed, such as About Last Night, pertaining to President Obama's 2008 election victory, which aired a mere 24 hours after President Obama's victory and includes segments of the president's actual speech. It's kind of like, what was it, a few years ago when they did the Man of the Year or Person of the Year, and they had like 4 different versions of it because they didn't know who were going to get.
Yeah. Oh, my turn.
Here we go.
The TV documentary Chris is referring to is called 6 Days to Air.
That's
Never
the one.
heard of it.
And it conveys the seemingly desperate and chaotic 6-day production schedule for a single South Park episode. In this case, the Human Centipede. That was a great episode. I loved it.
You accepted the terms of service.
I didn't read it.
Why
When did
wouldn't
they
it read?
start learning to read it?
Why wouldn't it read? Production usually starts on Thursdays, with Stone and Parker meeting with their writing consultant team and trying to figure out what they want the next episode to be about. After they figure out the what, Parker would begin working on the script itself, commencing a 120-hour work week for himself and his staff, full of many all-nighters.
Why would you do that? You're your own boss. The whole point is
sorry,
not
I
to
had
do
to
that.
Open this. I'm thirsty. I have multiple drinks.
It's
You're your
probably
own boss,
because-
J.O.
I'm sorry. Faraz is talking. I needed a drink.
Do you need Cheetos as well to go with this beer?
We could have used flaming hot potato chips, but we
Oh,
left
the
them
Flaming Hot
outside.
Potato chips would have been good. Too.
Yeah.
By Wednesday, the traditional airtime for new South Park episodes on Comedy Central, the episode is completed and sent over satellite uplink directly to Comedy Central's headquarters, which sometimes receives it a mere few hours before its 10 p.m. time slot.
I bet they're happy about that.
Well, it doesn't give them much time to criticize, is what I'm
or to
guessing.
censor anything.
No.
It's worked for how many years now, though?
Yeah.
Exactly.
However, despite the shockingly fast production time, South Park missed only a single air date in its entire 20-plus year history, and that was because of a power outage in their studio. Given the hasty production schedule and the incredible stress of it, as again seen in 6 Days to Air, which I'm sure Chris would love to watch.
I've seen it many times.
Where can I find this?
YouTube actually has it.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Good. Why haven't we watched this yet, honey?
And as Chris just asked, why the heck would you do this? If The Simpsons, Family Guy, and other animated shows typically have a production period of a few months, admittedly, while working on a few episodes at once, why does South Park need to rush from writing room to living room in under a week?
Why?
I don't know why.
Tell
I
us
don't know,
why,
Chris. Maybe you should tell us.
Tell us why,
Am I gonna
Chris.
have to hear about something that I'm going to get for $19.95 after this? And if I buy one, I get one for free and same day delivery.
What?
Well, I don't understand the reference now.
Everything sounds like it's like, why are we doing this? It's like a bad infomercial the way you said that.
Man, Stone and Parker explain, man, that the strip. Oh, I'm
He was
sorry.
really hitting him hard.
The beer started hitting me.
He was
I want to get high.
Yeah.
Stone and Parker explained that the stress of their production period invites more spontaneous elements into their scripts and helps create an overall funnier show that's immediately able to capture pop culture topics as they unfold, which is very true. Mm-hmm. Whereas The Simpsons might make a reference to something that happened a few months ago, South Park can satirize that issue within the very same week it happened, sometimes even hours after it happens, as seen in About Last Night.
Now, is that like the only instance that happened where it was that fast of production to viewing?
I don't know.
Because it's mentioned a couple of times here.
Yeah,
so-
but there are more down below, Chris, where to keep
Oh,
reading.
I'm sorry.
Without interruption.
It was
okay.
a
He
dramatic pause.
It was a legitimate question.
It
but
can be
go
interrupted.
on.
It's like it's your first day on the show. No.
We're supposed to interrupt.
Yes, notable instances of South Park's quick-to-the-punch effectiveness was seen in numerous episodes.
Yes, which ones?
Numerous episodes.
Which ones?
Numerous.
Which ones?
Quintuplets 2000 referenced U.S. authorities raiding the Miami home occupied by Elon Gonzalez, which happened a mere 4 days before the episode aired.
Whoa.
2003's It's Christmas in Canada goes over the capture of Saddam Hussein and aired only 3 days after the dictator's actual capture by U.S. military forces.
Wow.
2005's Best Friends Forever sees Kenny fall into a vegetative state and his friends, family, and the media fight over the merits of pulling him from life support, a subject poignantly reminiscent of Terry Schiavo.
Shivo.
Yeah, that's what I said.
He said Shivivo.
Yes. Shivivo is the fancy way of saying it.
Oh.
Like the
I'm
sing-song
sorry.
way.
Go on.
Like a rapper would say it that way.
You okay over there?
No, just inappropriate jokes, like right now.
Like the Family Guy song?
Oh, no, don't get us pulled from sponsors.
Okay, I'm
No,
sorry.
that's why I'm just going to be quiet.
Oh, you don't. You can get us pulled from sponsors. I don't care. The episode hit the airwaves less than 12 hours before Shivivo's actual death. The show's
What's
style
going
of
on?
animation is inspired by Terry Gilliam of Monty Python's Flying Circus, personal hero of mine, of which both Stone and Parker are fans. As previously mentioned, construction paper and traditional stop-motion cutout animation techniques were used. However, now episodes are produced by computer animation, providing a similar look to the originals while requiring a fraction of the time to produce. Which, I understand that, but the original ones look so much better still.
Really?
I
I
think
prefer
so.
the new look.
It's too polished. I like how rough it was with the South Park.
It's an HD now.
Yeah, but it's like the argument
Okay.
over what's better now, computer animation or hand-drawn animation. Which would you rather have? Where it's like you want traditional animation, where you watch it like the pen to paper, or computers where it's like, here, let me just digitize everything.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with computer animation, but I don't know. It looks different to me.
But when did they switch over to computer? Was it before or after they started doing these quick-to-air ones? I'm
It
gonna
was
guess.
right after like the first couple seasons.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I understand it. I get it.
they need to be on computers in order to.
They had the budget
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
Do
Well,
it
they got
that
70
quickly.
people. They can just keep cutting and pasting all night long.
Yeah.
All night.
All night.
Oh, every night.
All night long.
The characters and objects are composed of simple geometrical shapes and primary colors. The main characters of Kyle, Stan, Kenny, and Cartman are roughly the same size and shape, and are distinguished by their clothing, hair and skin colors, and headwear. Characters are presented two-dimensionally and from only one angle. Occasionally, some real-life personalities are depicted with photographic cutouts of their actual head and face. Canadians on the show are often portrayed with intelligent, beady eyes, and top halves of their heads gracefully flap up and down when the characters speak.
Now, if we were ever to do this Facebook Live, you would see that Faraz's head does flap, just like the Canadians do.
Gracefully.
really does.
And-
mention
Yes.
right there. It says gracefully though.
And
Gracefully.
intelligent, beady eyes.
Intelligent.
Yes, your eyes are very beady. They're often beating at me. It's very uncomfortable sometimes.
The show's visual quality has improved over the years, although several other techniques are used to intentionally preserve the cheap cutout animation look.
Faraz also farts a lot over here.
Hey, buddy, why'd you have to do that? Why you gotta be like that? Hey, pal, I'm just letting it out. I have to let it go during the show.
Not your buddy guy.
You know, buddies don't do that to pals. Oh, pal, I can't be your buddy if you're gonna fart like that.
That's what Hawkins sounds like. Parker and Stone voice most of the male South Park characters, while Mary Kay Bergman voiced the majority of the female characters until her suicide on November 11th, 1999.
Now, I'm going to have to interrupt you because you referenced somebody that we work with, and his name is Hawken.
Yes.
But 99% of the audience isn't going to know what that is. They think you just made up a sound for phlegm.
Because
Hawken is somebody that we work with, and
he's
frequently...
Faraz's buddy
Yeah.
and guy.
Because you said that's what Hawken sounds
He's
like.
of Norwegian descent. I am of Canadian descent.
And if
We
I
are very
didn't know
similar.
that Hawken was the name of somebody, I would think it was like...
Hawken is the name of somebody that we work with.
Okay, go ahead.
Who does not listen to the show?
I don't blame him.
We'll have to tell him that we gave him a shout-out this week.
Oh, maybe he'll listen. One extra download for us.
Mona Marshall and Eliza Schneider succeeded Bergman, with Schneider leaving the show after its 7th season in 2003. Bergman was originally listed in the credits under the alias Shannon Cassidy to help protect her reputation as the voice of several Disney background characters and the voice of Miss Butterworth, the maple syrup bottle.
I love Miss Butterworth.
I didn't realize such a celebrity was on South Park.
I know.
I know. You know how disappointed I was when I went and bought Mrs. Butterworth syrup and then
it didn't talk.
Yeah. Like, come on. Tell me how much syrup I'm supposed to have on my pancakes.
I know. Keep me company during breakfast.
Hey, come on.
That's not syrup, by the way. It's some sort of chemical goulash.
Oh, calm it down, Canada.
I know, jeez. Go tap a tree.
Go get your poutine, eh? Other members of South Park's production staff have voiced minor characters for various episodes, including BB Stevens.
Baby.
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 Yeah, whatever. Token Black.
Best name on the show.
Tokens Live Matter.
Yes, that was the best thing ever.
Token Lives.
Towley and Mr. Slave. Throughout the show's history, the voices for toddlers and kindergarten characters have been provided by the children of the show's production staff. Isaac Hayes voiced the character of Chef, an African-American, soul-singing cafeteria worker. Hello, children.
I want to lay you down.
Oh, what's bothering you today, children? Salisbury steak day. In the South Park episode Trapped in the Closet, a satire of R. Kelly's life and also Scientology, Hayes did not appear in his role as Chef. When he appeared on the Opie and Anthony radio show about a month after the episode aired, Hayes was asked, "What did you think about when Matt and Trey did that episode on Scientology?" He replied with, "One thing about Matt and Trey, they lampoon everybody, and if you take it that serious, I'll sell you to the Brooklyn Bridge for $2. That's what they do." Really?
What does that mean?
I don't
like,
get
I
it.
don't understand the reference there.
I don't get it.
I thought you actually wrote that down wrong.
Chris wrote this one.
Chris, what does it mean?
That's a quote.
I don't
Well,
get it.
right, but what does
Well,
it mean?
explain it to
What's
us.
he saying?
You'll
Nobody,
You put
nobody
it in
knows
there.
what it means.
You put it in there, which means you have to be the one to be able to explain it to our audience
You-
who might also be confused.
Like, I can explain intelligent beady eyes.
Yes, because all it said was beady eyes, and you inputted intelligent
No,
in there.
he said
Nowhere in my script does it say intelligent beady eyes.
You act like I said it. I did not say it. That's a quote. I can't change the quote.
Seems like
I think
Nicole
it's just,
requires more out of the quotes now besides quote, unquote.
I think it's
All right.
I think instead of just saying that he'll sell you the Brooklyn Bridge for $2,
Yeah.
he's saying he'll sell you to the Brooklyn Bridge for $2. Just to
What?
be different. I don't know.
I don't
Nobody
get it.
knows. He was the Duke of New York, a number one.
All I know is he wants to lay you down.
And he did the impressive theme song to Shaft.
Did he?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Shaft.
And had the best song ever on South Park with Chocolate Salty Balls.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
that was really Canadian.
That was a good one.
That was super Canadian. You should have seen his head flapped when he said that.
Hey, buddy, I love that song. Later, Later, he said that he told the creators, "Guys, you have it all wrong. We're not like that. I know that's your thing, but get your information correct because somebody might not believe that shit, you know?"
Unquote.
Yeah. He then told them to take a couple of Scientology courses to understand what they do.
Page 3.
In the interview, Hayes defended South Park's style of controversial humor, noting that he was not pleased with the show's treatment of Scientology, but saying that he understands what Matt and Trey are doing. Yeah, he understood all right.
On March 13th of 2006,
All right, Peter Griffin.
a statement was issued in Hayes' name indicating that he was asking to be released from his contract with Comedy Central, citing intolerant religious beliefs. There is a place in this world for satire, but there is a time when satire ends and intolerance and bigotry towards religious beliefs and others begins. He was quoted in the press statement.
Unquote.
The statement did not directly mention Scientology. A response from Matt Stone said that Hayes' complaints were from the show's criticism of Scientology and that he has no problem and he's cashed plenty of checks with our show making fun of Christians, Muslims, Mormons, or Jews.
Sorry.
Chris is fizzing in his Rick and Morty cup right now.
Can I just say that was a quick fizz?
That was a quick one-liner. He's fizzing in his cup.
Stone adds, we never heard a peep out of Isaac in any way until we did Scientology. He wants a different standard for religions other than his own, and to me, that is where intolerance and bigotry begin. Unquote. Stone and Parker agreed.
Wait a second. You don't have to say quote unless you don't have to say unquote unless you start with saying quote.
Look, I don't understand this whole rule thing.
Yeah.
You made it!
No,
she made it.
She made the rule, not me.
If you say quote,
if
at
I
the
were to write it,
beginning
I
of
would do like APA or MLB style. This was not.
If you
This is
start
not
a
how
quote,
you do quotes.
Nobody
if you
knows what that
start a
means.
quote by saying quote, then you should end it by saying unquote. If you don't start the quote by saying quote, you don't have to then say
They're the formats
unquote.
for academic papers.
But we said unquote like 3 quotes without saying quote, and now you're saying something.
I'm just saying, you guys are making it.
She's quote saying something.
Unquote.
Unquote. But I'm just saying, quote, let's just keep going on with this program. Unquote.
Stone and Parker agreed to release Hayes from his contract. In 2007, however, Hayes said that he had quit because, quote, Parker and Stone didn't pay me enough. Ellipses. They weren't that nice.
No, do not
unquote.
read every punctuation. You didn't read brackets around we.
Open bracket, we, close bracket.
Yeah, open bracket, we, close bracket. Never heard a peep out of Isaac. I don't even know you're supposed to read we.
Why does it smell like fruit right in front of me right
That's
now?
because my fruity drink I poured while you were reading.
Because it's truly fizzy.
The South Park Season 10 premiere. Don't sniff my
God.
can. What are you sniffing my can for?
Faraz, get back in your seat. Stop sniffing his can.
Oh, my gosh. The South Park Season 10 premiere featured the return of Chef. It used sound clips from past episodes depicting Chef as having been brainwashed. Have you seen? I watched that show recently. It is so obvious they use sound clips now after reading about it they use sound clips.
I'll have to go back and watch.
Yeah, it's really different now that you know.
Season 10 premiere.
Yep. The cult that brainwashed Chef is named the Super Adventure Club and is depicted as a group of child molesters who travel the world to have sex with children.
Gross.
Well, that makes sense if they're child molesters.
And
we should have edited that
Scientologists?
sentence. That was like stating something twice. Chef is unable to break free from his brainwashing and dies by falling off a cliff, and then is mutated by wild animals.
Mutilated.
Yeah, that's what I said. And finally shot several times. I don't know what you hear. You're always correcting me.
You said mutated.
Yeah, mutated.
It's mutilated.
Mutilated. At the end of the episode, he is shown as being resurrected as a Darth Vader-like cyborg. Roger Friedman of Fox News reported that the March 13th statement was made in Hayes' name, not by Hayes himself. He wrote, Isaac Hayes did not quit South Park.
It's a lot of Hayes and Haynes.
Yes. No. It's the beer. I'm all high. Isaac Hayes did not quit South Park. My sources say that someone quit it for him.
Can I try this fizzy thing?
Friends in Memphis.
Yeah.
Memphis.
Put Chris's cup down.
I know. Stop. That's my cup. That was really loud on the mic. Super rude.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah,
and
go
sip
ahead and
at
drink
least?
it. I'm waiting on you.
You can keep reading.
No, you drink first. Go
And
ahead.
tell us what you think 1 out of 6 on the first impression.
That was really loud in the mic, too. You need to say something. This is.
I don't know what's. I don't know.
Friends in Memphis tell me that Hayes.
Before, buddy.
Wait, start over.
Friends in Memphis tell me that Hayes did not issue any statements on his own about South Park. They are mystified. So basically, it's another scary Scientology thing because we talked all over that paragraph where the Scientologist came in and Hayes is accusing them of making all the
Isaac
statements.
Hayes said he quit while jumping on the couch of somebody's talk show.
Yes, I remember that.
Wasn't it the Montel Williams show?
I believe it was, and he was a lot shorter in real life than I thought he was.
I couldn't believe it.
That's what most
you're right.
people wind up saying.
That he was a lot shorter in real life than I thought he was?
Yes.
It's a weird thing for most people to just randomly say. In 2016, Isaac Hayes confirmed that the decision to leave the show was made
Wait,
by
is that about
Hayes'
me?
entourage. No!
Oh, what?
Oh my gosh, just drink your fruity drink.
I don't like grapefruit.
Then why did you grab a can with a big
Because I just
gigantic
didn't know.
grapefruit
I
on
didn't
it?
know. I didn't know. I just didn't know.
Don't worry, I've got lemon and lime.
It'd be
ones at
if
home.
it had a big orange on it, then I would see your surprise. But the grapefruit is all over that can. The decision was made after Hayes suffered a stroke, leaving him vulnerable to and unable to make such decisions on his own. All right, end this, Nicole.
The show's
Ended. Put it out of her misery.
So then we can talk about our favorite South Park.
the show's theme song was a musical score performed by the band
Wait a minute. What was it?
Musical score
Yeah.
performed.
Oh, perform.
What did I say?
I thought you said before.
No, performed.
Oh,
That
Did I
is
say
really
before?
grapefruity.
Did I say before?
I think you did.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Performed by the band Primus, with the lyrics alternately sung by the band's lead singers Les Claypool, along with Kyle, Kenny, and Cartman and Stan.
Did you know that he's considered one of the greatest bass players of all time?
I did not.
Yes, he is an awesome bass player.
He is.
I love that band.
Thank you for the
Look,
extra.
grapefruit
bonus.
really offends me. I can smell that constantly.
It is very grapefruity.
The original
Should have had
opening.
more pineapple.
The original opening composition was originally slower, with a length of 40 seconds. It was too long for the opening sequence, however, so Parker and Stone sped it up for the show's opening, having the band's lead singer, Claypool, re-record his vocals.
Now, I don't understand anything that Cartman says. It's one of my criticisms of South Park.
Are you confusing Cartman with Kenny?
No, Cartman also, and the opening song, it kills me every time.
Okay.
Because it's like, going down South Park, gonna have myself a time. Me, 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 me. What is he saying?
Well,
What is he
that-
saying?
first of all,
Places
that
everywhere.
Yeah.
That's
How are
the
you not
first
getting
part. The
that?
first part is Kyle and Stan saying, "Friendly faces everywhere, humble folks without temptations."
No.
Yes.
They say,
Yes.
They
Yes.
say, me, 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 me.
No,
That's
that's
exactly
just
the
Cartman
quote,
himself.
unquote.
What
And
was
then
that
Cartman,
Primus song that
Cartman
everybody
says,
knows?
Cartman says, "Ample parking day or night, people shouting, howdy neighbors."
Jerry was a race car driver.
Oh, that's it.
And then,
No, no, I don't like that.
That's what Kenny says.
All right, well, that's the South Park episode. I don't know if you got any information out of that, other than the drink is really grapefruity.
We should
And
do
the
the
beer
quotes
is
of
really
Cartman. He
weed.
was like, I like to get wine and dine before I get,
What?
Expletive.
expletive. The episode
Okay.
where he wanted, like,
I'm
what
really
was he
upset
like a
that
Nintendo
Human
Wii?
Sentai
He
Pad.
wanted a Nintendo Wii. Oh, it was a Sentai Pad
It
episode.
was.
Yes.
You know, I always thought that your favorite episode was, what was it, Cartman's Asperger's and all that, where Cartman
That was
says
good,
he has
too.
Asperger's,
That was
and he's
good.
really just like putting extra, like he's cooking the burgers on his ass and everything.
Yeah.
But the Human Sentai Pad, like, it makes fun of Apple, and I don't
Say
like
fudged.
Apple.
Say fudged.
Why?
If you want to say the quote. Like,
No, we can't say the quotes?
You can say the
No.
quote.
you can.
We don't want
have
the
to think
E.
Of, we have to, well, no, we can think of
They're
a
like-
funny
They're
sound to put over the expletive.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Like
Should
a
we
Kenny
do it?
mumble.
It's the internet. Here's my take on South Park. I've watched South Park on and off over the years, and I binge watched a bunch of South Park, and I still have the same thought in my head about South Park. I like Matt Stone and Trey Parker, everything they've done except for South Park, and I don't know why. I like
What else have they done?
Team Fortress.
Thank you.
Team America World Police.
That's what I meant.
Basketball, and the greatest movie they ever made, Orgasmo.
I even like the movie Bigger, Louder, whatever.
Yeah,
Bigger,
the South Park
Longer, and
movie was
Uncut.
Book of Mormon is great.
Oh, Book of Mormon's
Oh,
phenomenal.
that's right. They did
I
do
mean,
that.
That's the shirt I should have worn.
But I don't
tonight.
know, South Park, it's okay.
Really?
It's all right. Yeah, it's okay. I don't understand what Cartman says half the time. It bugs me.
See, I like when you eventually start to be understanding of what Kenny is saying, because for the longest time,
Nobody knows what he's saying.
no, sometimes you do. Like in the later seasons,
My
you
name's
can
Princess Kenny.
you can distinguish it, because most of the time at the
When he's
first
Mysterio.
the first Mysterion, that. So you want to know something else? When I was watching a few episodes, I saw in the opening sequence at the very end when the boys are all hanging around the South Park sign and they wave to you. At one
Very
point,
Crunch?
huh? No, not very. You see Kenny waving from the sign, and then you see Mysterion in the background. I'm like, how can he be in two places at once?
I don't know. It's very mysterious.
It is very mysterious. Yeah, no, I really enjoy when you can actually understand what Kenny is saying, like with the context of what's going on, and even though it's muffled, you can understand. And I like when you see Kenny without his hoodie on. That's always exciting. Like in the Michael Jackson episode. What?
If you really want.
What secret notes are you passing?
He
I
wants,
was
to
showing,
read, he wants to read this quote.
I was showing Chris quotes from the Human Sentai Pad episode
about
where
Cartman.
Cartman wanted the Sentai Pad because,
All right, we'll read the quote and then we'll do fishbowl facts.
Okay. So I believe that this one happens in a Best Buy, right?
Is it with him and his mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he's asking his mom for, I have to get context here. He's asking his mom to buy it, and she wants to give him a Toshiba something instead.
Instead of an Apple iPad.
Yeah, it's like, here, look at this one, a Toshiba Handybook. And he's like, a Toshiba Handybook. And then his mom says, this says it does everything the iPad does at half the price. Cartman, quote, Mom, do not screw me over again. Wait, you should read these. You do better Cartman quotes than I do.
I do the Cartman quotes.
You do.
Where are we?
Read.
Oh, this book says it has everything the iPad does at half the price. Mom, don't screw me over again. If I take that thing to school, everybody's going to think that I'm a poverty-stricken asshole. Eric, stop acting like a spoiled brat. You can either have the Toshiba Handybook or you can have nothing at all. There's a pause while Cartman considers this. Oh, I got a better idea. Why don't you go across the street and buy some condoms? Because we should at least be safe if you're gonna fuck me, Mom! Eric! You might as well go buy some cigarettes, too. Because I like to have a smoke and I get good fuck. You wanna fuck me, Mom? Just go ahead here. Huh? Go ahead, Mom! Fuck me! I mean, Mom, gonna fuck me!
Right in the middle of the Best Buy.
You want to fuck your son so bad? Go out, Mom. Mom, go ahead, do it. And it just keeps going.
Great scene.
And then he has it.
I didn't understand
Magical
a word.
moment.
I didn't understand a word that was said. Not a word.
Great job, JL.
Fishbowl facts.
Yay. Am I
Takes a
starting
lot
this
out of me. I need a highlight or some Hemperor. Maybe both at the same time.
Oh, good luck with that.
Ooh. What's a fishbowl fact? Everybody grab one.
These are
fishbowl-
facts from
your-
an actual fishbowl
Your
about
fishbowl
the show.
fact is
South
that your
Park.
bottle of Hemperor after it's empty still smells the same way it does when you first open it.
Keep this and just smell it. Oh, I actually like my very first fishbowl fact. This is interesting,
I'm
and I
glad you
didn't know it.
approve.
And now I can't wait to watch South Park. Are you ready? Is everybody ready for
Yes.
this exciting fishbowl fact? There is an alien hidden in every episode of South Park.
I did not notice that.
I did not notice it either. Did you know that, JL?
I did know that, but I've never noticed the alien. I've heard this fact before, but I've never seen the alien in every episode.
Have you seen it?
I have not seen an alien.
So now
every
everybody
episode.
has to go back and watch
I
South
feel like
Park.
this is more of a first season thing, but they say it's every season.
I don't know.
Huh.
We'll see.
Oh, is it my
It's
turn?
in the fishbowl.
Yes.
It must be true.
It must be.
But you said last time those were fake facts.
No, we never said No, we never said
No,
that.
we didn't.
We
We
did
were
not say that.
We were
I
recording
was
a
very confused. I
we
didn't
were
understand.
recording a spot, and those were fun fishbowl.
Why do you look so
facts.
sad again, Chris?
You're discrediting everything he's writing. That's
You know,
why.
Before you came back onto the show, I had 0 gray hairs. Now, full head.
And you look so sad all the time.
He looks like Doc Brown now.
All the
Come on, Chris, get it to the however many gigawatts we need. Did you know at the end of the South Park episode, Trapped in the Closet, all the names on the credits read either John Smith or Jane Smith due to the Tom Cruise's and Scientologist reputation of suing people?
Nice.
That's pretty interesting.
Yes.
For us, it's a circle still. Still a circle every week. Just goes around in a circle. Means you're next.
Frito-Lay briefly sold bags of Cheesy Poofs as homage to South Park.
I didn't know that. I would have bought one. In South Park, when Kenny would die and
Wait,
Stan-
hold on. Are
What?
Cheesy Poofs Cheetos?
I don't
Yes,
know.
and they
Yeah.
go great with the Hemperor.
No. Yeah. Yes, they would.
Yes.
In South Park, when Kenny would die and Stan or Kyle would exclaim,
Oh my God, they killed Kenny.
And you bastards, to apparently no one in particular, they were actually referring to Stone and Parker themselves as though they were omnipresent within the show's universe.
That's so funny. You bastards.
Makes sense now.
The song Chocolate Salty Balls.
I feel like we should have traded our fishbowl facts.
All right, then let's trade.
Let's trade.
Okay.
Oh, my.
Pokemon is Japanese for pocket monsters, and Chin Pokemon, the South Park parody, is Japanese for penis monsters.
Yes.
All right.
All right,
Jail.
There we go. The song "Chocolate Salty Balls" from South Park reached #1 on the UK singles charts.
Do you remember how that went?
You put them in your mouth, 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 then suck it.
Yeah.
Suck on my chocolate salty balls.
Prior to season 8 of South Park, Chef is always seen facing the front, even when exiting scenes. This is because for 7 years, South Park creators never drew a side view of Chef.
Interesting.
Fishbowl facts.
Yes, I guess.
Fishbowl facts. The character Kenny on South Park is based on a real childhood friend of Trey Parker, who was named Kenny. He was the poorest kid in town, wore a large parka that muffled his voice, and would frequently skip school, inspiring the running joke that he died by his classmates.
That's funny.
Oh, Kenny's based on a real person.
Yeah.
Aww.
Wow. That is interesting. And I hope real.
These are real, yes.
This one is real. I know because you've told it to me at least 8 times when we've been talking about South Park.
Just because you were the inspiration for the adoptive Canadian child on South Park.
Hey, Ike is a glory on the show.
I like when he hits puberty because he was given the wrong Canadian medication.
That was supposed to go to Tom Brady.
And then he convinces one of the kids' cartoon characters. What was it?
It was from Yo Gabba Gabba.
He convinces her to get to her adult side and attract a wider audience.
And they it was a Britney Spears box.
And he banged his teacher, too.
Yo Gabba Gabba was so scary. That was one of the scariest shows on TV.
But anyway, I know this one is real because, Faraz, you have mentioned it to me on multiple occasions.
Multiple.
Over and over and over
like
again.
Even in this episode you've mentioned
even
it.
outside of this episode.
Yesterday you talked about it.
Even before we started this episode.
When South Park aired its anti-Family Guy episode, they received flowers from the
Family Guy.
crew of The Simpsons.
Family Guy sucks.
What was
I like
that?
Family Guy.
What
was that outburst for?
What do you mean? What was
You
that?
don't like
How
Family
do you
Guy?
not know what that outburst is from?
You don't like Family Guy?
I think that my emotions about Family Guy are neatly summed up in a South Park episode.
Okay.
The anti-Family Guy episode.
I believe it's called Simpsons Did It First.
Yes.
Do you like the Orville?
Yeah, it's fine. It's okay.
Okay.
Because of South Park's Scientology episode, the Church of Scientology hired people to spy on Matt and Trey to find something on them to use for blackmail. The church became frustrated when their information turned up absolutely nothing, but the fact that they're actually really normal people.
Except he works 120 hours a week.
Yeah, that's not normal.
It is for certain people.
Doctors?
There you go.
Lawyers?
Nah.
Imagine Trey and
the
Matt.
president.
Yeah, Trey and Matt. they hear themselves getting compared to doctors and lawyers for their work.
I thought she was going to say Trey and Parker.
I almost did. I'm sorry.
Imagine Trey and Parker.
I know them both.
Which way did the circle go? Is it going?
It's
this
your
way? 'Cause it
turn.
felt
You're
like
after
it went
JL
to the
every
triangle
time.
form.
Hey,
Every
Canada,
week.
it's your turn.
Every week.
Hey.
Quit screwing this up like you screw everything else up, Canada.
McDaniel College in
Stupid
Maryland offers a class that breaks down South Park episodes and looks at the real world social issues Matt and Trey are portraying.
Didn't even read that right.
That is an easy A, I think. Creators of South Park were...
It smells very prominently of weed in this room.
Yes, well... Creators of South Park were originally going to kill off the character Kyle in Season 5 because he was too similar to Stan, and he wanted to bring in Butters as a regular character.
Oh, Butters.
You know, it took me the longest time
To accept that you're Butters?
What? Wow.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Explain.
What does that mean?
Explain that.
What? I don't...
Now that's just hanging
Just went there.
hanging in the air. Now you need to explain. You're getting dirty looks.
From who?
Everybody.
Oh.
What does that mean?
I feel like I'm getting endearing looks.
What does that mean?
Like, What?
No.
Oh, poor Mantequilla sitting
I
next
don't
to
wanna
me
hear-
doesn't understand what it means.
I don't want to hear that you are drinking this beer and it is making you high and you don't know what you're saying. I want to hear what that was supposed to mean.
You know that Lyft credit you have? You might need it.
He drove. I'll need it.
Oh, okay.
So what did it mean?
What? No,
Lost time
go
for
on with
music.
your
No,
thought.
No. I would love to hear this.
I don't have an answer. Do I need to provide? No.
I didn't say anything. I'm waiting.
You're
I'm waiting for this uncomfortableness to go away so we can get to the emails.
I was going to say, you broke JL. Are you happy you broke JL?
Oh, Butters, it's okay. I'm feeling better.
Shut up.
Oh, no. What's Butters' alter ego?
Professor
Chaos is here to read the emails for you, kids. Professor Chaos, what emails did we get?
To quote the kids in the episode where they're stuck in the virtual reality, fuck you. Julie emailed us at podcast42show@gmail.com
You're in
saying,
trouble.
I would totally watch an animated movie with Rodney Dangerfield as Batman and JL doing the voice. This episode made me laugh so much. They are referring to our Caddyshack episode and JL's impersonations that he is oh so good at.
No, I'm awful. I do awful impersonations. This is why it's a South Park episode. They do impersonations poorly. There's going to be a disclaimer at the beginning of our episode.
It's actually at the end.
I thought it was at the beginning.
No, it's at the end.
We have a disclaimer.
Oh, my God.
Ours is at the end. South Park's is at the beginning. They have a copy written that...
yeah, South Park has...
Yeah, theirs is at the beginning. Ours is at the end. So that way everybody knows at the end so they can't get too offended.
You explained that really well. I thought you were talking about ours, so I apologize.
Yeah, no. Ours is at the end. I knew that.
What does it say?
It says you should listen to the show all the way to the end for Oz.
It says ignore Faraz. He doesn't. Ignore Faraz. Not only does he not listen to his own show, he doesn't read any messages on Messenger.
What? No, I use Messenger a lot.
I know. You need to talk. But you don't respond. You don't read.
I did respond.
Oh, my God.
Like at least a dozen times just this morning
Can we really
alone.
work on the Rodney Dangerfield Batman thing, though? That would be great.
That would be awesome.
Like go back to me being Butters.
Do you want to know a secret?
Of her being Butters?
Comment down, Terrence and Philip combined in one person.
Faraz, cover your ears. When Faraz is
Faraz, earmuffs.
When he's on a Messenger rant, I put mute.
Hold on. That's not a Messenger rant. What does that mean, Messenger rant?
I kind of put my phone in the other room and just look at my watch and go, Faraz has sent another one. Delete, delete, delete. Hey, Nicole sent a picture. Let me go see what that is.
Depending on what
you
the
have
subject
8
is.
unread messages.
Depending on what the subject is, sometimes it's only muted for an hour. Sometimes it's muted for 8 hours. Mute. You don't read it. You don't read what I reply anyway.
Of course I do. I give you a like, thumbs up.
No, you don't.
No, you don't, because we have the 2 beers cheersing as our like button.
See?
No, but you and I
Even
talk
I
in a
do
separate
that.
thread.
I barely respond.
You guys talk without us? Wait a second.
Writing stuff.
Sure.
It's mostly
We're
Faraz
being
talking.
freaked out.
No, it's personal stuff.
Chris and I are writing an episode. It's going to be phenomenal.
Oh, I feel left out now.
It's going to be
I
10
am
minutes long
Butters.
because that's after that. That's going to be my portion. The rest of it's the Chris portion.
Anyway, if you want to email us at podcast42show@gmail.com. Kathy Loves Cats also emailed us
Hey, is this one of your book club buddies?
saying, any thoughts on the royal wedding?
Nope.
I loved it. It was great.
You watched it, really?
I thought it was the best performance Bill Pullman's done in years.
Oh, Jesus.
I have been looking forward to Spaceballs 2 for a long time. The Royal
Switch
Honeymoon.
the Switch for more money.
I don't have no idea what you said.
That's the second Spaceballs, the Switch for more
I was
money.
just very excited that Pizza Hut actually, catered the wedding.
It's Pizza the Hut.
Oh, no, it became Pizza Hut afterwards because they just ate them.
Did anybody watch the royal wedding?
I didn't watch it. I just looked at pictures afterwards.
We watched it. It was in Lake County of Naboo.
It's a Star
we all
Wars
watched
reference.
it like a decade ago.
Yes.
That's a Star Wars reference,
Yeah,
everybody.
they rolled down the hill and everything.
I saw her dress in person, and it was gorgeous.
I
Wasn't
didn't-
it?
I
Wasn't
didn't
it
watch any of it.
beautiful? Roz, you saw it too.
He didn't really dress up for it.
I didn't
He wore,
watch
like,
the
black
Boo wedding.
Yeah, he wore
I didn't
the
watch the
same thing.
Spaceball wedding. I didn't watch the Royal wedding. I watched no weddings.
I didn't watch the royal wedding. I liked her dress, and then she switched into a second dress, which I also thought was very pretty.
Wait, who are we talking about
realize
now?
you could do
Padme?
costume changes
Are we still
during
talking about Padme
weddings.
Amidala?
No,
You can
we're
if you're rich
talking about
enough.
Harry
Costume
and
changes
Meghan.
are allowed during weddings.
Yes. Oh, it's a common thing now.
It is.
Yeah.
Is it?
We're not talking about Attack of the Clones right now.
Don't tell Tara that I told you that.
Oh, what
I'm
are you
gonna
gonna do?
I'm gonna do a costume change.
That's
Oh
a
my God.
challenge now.
She's
It
gonna
is
kill
accepted,
you.
and she doesn't listen to the show, so she won't know.
That's right.
Oh boy, I'm in trouble. Just like Aladdin, I'm in trouble.
All right, well, that was South Park in a nutshell.
Yay!
Do you know what we need to talk about?
The beer.
The beer.
The
But
beer.
I don't know how to rate the beer. Faraz, how should I rate this beer?
I feel like we went over this in the beginning
We
with Chris's
did.
label conversation.
We kind of did, yeah.
We kinda
But
did.
refresh those who
But
couldn't
it's
make
been
it.
a long time of
just
giggling
in
over
one
grapefruit and pours and how your girlfriend is Butters.
In
So-
one sentence, how do you rate the beer?
In one one sentence?
It can be two. With a
How
comma.
many words like can these be run on? How many
I'll do it
words
this
per sentence?
week.
One run-on sentence.
You rate the beer from 1 to 6 because its drinkability of 1 beer in a 6-pack to 6 beers in a 6-pack. So 6 is the highest rating because that's the most beers that you could drink out of a 6-pack.
But labels are rated based on what?
We're not,
Based on what?
Originality and
The
artistic value.
same thing.
we don't care about the labels.
All right.
You do. You
Labels
rank
don't
them.
matter in
Who
here.
wants to start?
Butters.
Half.
Yeah, he passed it on to me, and I gave him a spiked sparkling drink in exchange, and it was grapefruit. What would you rate that? Since you're rating our
Awful.
beer.
Just awful.
It was bad at first, but it
Yeah, it
grew
was
on me.
very bad. What?
No, it grew on me. I
How?
like it. It's good.
You have to
weed?
try the lime ones.
I would give this a 4.
He gives the
What
truly
the fuck?
grapefruit a 4. It is a spiked sparkling water with a little bit of flavoring to it. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be a light alternative alcohol drink.
Is that an angry can
the
drop?
beer tastes like you're walking through a high school party. It really does.
It feels like my first Kiss concert.
Oh. Froz, what do you rate the beer?
I didn't think that sentence was going to end that way. I thought like you were going to say, and
My first
this is like
kiss.
my first kiss. Like, oh,
No.
JL.
Somebody
what kind
told
of
me-
emotions does this beer invoke?
Somebody told me this beer was good the other day, and they were really wrong.
I just got it because, you know what? It looked like a unique thing to try.
Oh, yeah, definitely. This is one to try.
Froz, what do you rate it?
I
Out of
don't mind
6.
it. I have the smell of marijuana offends my sensibilities,
It's ham.
so I don't care for the smell. The taste, I feel like it's a nice taste. Is it a refreshing beer? No. It's kind of heavy, but it's smooth and interesting in a way that I can't quite describe. I have to give it at least a 3.5 just because it's so interesting and it intrigues my
Wow.
palate so much that I keep wanting to taste more, see if I can, detect
It's
more
a gateway.
nuance.
It's making him speak a lot more than he normally does about
I
the beer.
never thought that was possible.
I know.
There was twigs in mine, I think.
There were not.
You know
it's
what?
stems, not twigs,
What?
by the
I'm
way.
going to let
I don't
Nicole
know.
be the last person to rate this
Yeah.
because we all know how she's going to do it. It's going to be like Keeley's here or whatever like that. Next thing you know, she's going to be like, "Pfft, that's it." Yeah, exactly. So, with that being said, I think that the aroma that comes from it, you get the first scent of it right away. It's still there when you finish it.
Yeah, I always feel like I have
The-
to wash my clothes after.
The taste is lingering, but overall, it's a good beer.
Do you really think so? Yeah.
I think it is actually a pretty good beer. And I'm going to give it a 4.
Wow.
Wow, pretty solid rankings from JL and I.
The
Yeah.
cops are busting in asking for our
Good thing
medical
it's not
marijuana
traceable.
cards.
Exactly. There is no traceable amounts of THC or CBD.
Yeah.
So
That's what they want you to
ain't
think.
nobody's going to arrest us. I give it a 6.
As predicted.
It should be pretty obvious to those who know me. I give it a 6. I enjoy the smell. I enjoy the taste. It is just very, very, very good.
All right. Well,
I like
that's,
everything about it.
That's a very. We hit all the ratings in this one sitting.
You look tired and sad.
It's kicking in after
Yeah,
this
the
half a
hem's
sip.
kicking in. I gotta take a nap. That's what you do, right?
Yeah.
No,
got
I
your
think you go
Cheetos
eat
over
fried
here.
chicken and chips.
No, I've never done
Fried
that.
chicken and chips. That's an interesting combo.
I thought it was Taco Bell and that's
Taco
it.
Bell. Yeah. Have you tried the Taco Bell fries?
Oh, those are good.
They're no longer available. We learned that the other day.
What?
Oh, really?
What happened?
I haven't
They're
been in a
gone.
long time.
They're coming back, but they're gone.
They're so good. They should be on the permanent menu.
Yeah, I agree. They were surprisingly good. I hate Taco Bell.
They got a new item coming out. It's the hemp chalupa.
Really?
No.
That seems perfect for Taco Bell.
Yeah, just like when they started doing breakfast. Why they weren't doing breakfast burritos, I'll never understand. Why?
I still
Why
haven't
weren't they
tried the
doing hemp
breakfast.
burritos?
It's like Locos Tacos. How did it take that long for them and Doritos to get together and go, hey, let's do a taco together?
I still need to do the breakfast. But we can save that discussion for the live show coming up later.
Ooh,
Yeah.
guys, breakfast items to compare.
I
That's
don't do
a good
eggs.
idea.
Yeah,
Because McDonald's has an all-day breakfast menu, and Taco
Uh,
Bell. What?
That just sounds like I'm going to be...
What?
Let's save that for the live show because if we're getting
Fine.
Faraz riled up.
Yes.
You know what I'm going to save for the live show also?
What?
His definition on why you're butters.
I can't wait.
So speaking of live shows, those are free on Spreaker for one day when we do them, and then you can catch them on our Patreon. Also on our Patreon, you can get scripts for just a little bit of money and any extra sound bites we have. So check out our Patreon page. And, of course, you can find us on all the podcast stuff. We don't have to list them.
Spreaker mostly. Just find us on Spreaker.
But not Spotify.
Not
Not
Spotify.
Spotify.
And on Xbox. We're on Xbox.
Yeah.
Well, that's just a podcatcher,
Well,
really.
Yeah.
It's
but
a
PlayStation
podcast
doesn't
app
have it.
that's available on Xbox. So if you
Yeah.
want to listen to us through your TV, you are more than capable of doing so. If you have an Xbox and download the podcast app. Yeah.
All right, South Park's in the bag.
Yay.
Who are you guys?
I'm Nicole Fasone.
Oh, I'm still Jail Trust.
I am Faraz. Hey.
And I'm Christopher Not Butters DeVos. We'll catch you
That's
next
Nicole
week.
Butters Fasone.
Bye.
I like Montequilla.
Mantequilla.
What does that mean?
That's butter in Spanish.
Oh.
Did you never see the...
You are no longer listening to Podcast 42.
Some of the stuff you just heard might have been embellished, made up, or just plain incorrect. In other words, don't use this show to write a book report with. You will get a bad grade. Just like all the hosts.
But I'm not done yet.
JL's Beer Cooler is written and performed by Cremo. Cremo is an award-winning actor and musician. For all things Cremo, including more great music, visit Cremo.com. That's spelled Craymo. He is on Twitter at Cremo. Facebook, just search Cremo Music, and also on YouTube under, you guessed it, Cremo.